decided to do what the hell they wanted to do. What's up? It's your boy Cino here. Fresh fade. Yeah, yeah. So now it's official. Ja Morant is officially on the trading block. That's right. They hit the button. Push the goddamn button! Push the goddamn button! Ja Morant is officially on the trading block. So now everybody is like, what? The Grizzlies are aggressively trying to trade Ja. It was a bad scenario to begin with the actual coach and Ja not getting along, and he's not fitting with the new system that they're implementing. So they tried before the season started to blow the whole team up and just start all over anew. They were trying to get rid of their big man. They trying to get rid of everybody in Memphis that was with the old regime and start over anew. So this is not a shock to a lot of people. So he's on the trading block right now. Ja Morant, it was going to leak out because all these teams are interested in Ja, right? Who wouldn't be, right? So when you get Ja Morant, everybody got Indiana fever right now. But when you got Ja Morant, you know, that's excitement, that's ticket sales, that's a lot that can come to your team. And if you talking about moving him, then that's a lot you taking away from your team. Yeah, so Minnesota would be a good fit for him. I'm going to tell y'all the teams right now that are in the lead for Ja Morant that really started campaigning right away. The reason how this thing broke out. A lot of people say he's going to the Lakers. I don't see how that's happening. He's not going to the Lakers. People's like, he need to get with Kevin Durant in Houston. They're not going to put him in Houston. They already re-signed fake Drake, which they should have traded him immediately. And Houston wouldn't be in this problem. But they stuck with him. They stuck with fake Drake over there from Rockford. Now, the thing is, the top teams that want him, no Chicago Bulls. The top teams that were like on him that he might land to, there's two major teams that really want Ja Morant. The Atlanta Hawks and the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets and the Atlanta Hawks are the major two teams that are fighting for Ja Morant. Mm-hmm. Oh, Ja, he like guns. He'll fit in good in Atlanta. The Nets got a pretty, New York got a strict gun law. I don't think he'll like that. Atlanta, oh, shoot, you can take a gun to breakfast. I think he would have a better fit basketball-wise, realistically, in Atlanta. He'll be able to do a lot more, but I think the Brooklyn Nets would be a good fit for him, depending on what pieces they have. Like, they could seriously make a run when they got him. So I think they were gonna trade Trae Young for Ja Morant, but Memphis don't want Trae Young. Brooklyn didn't want Trae Young. Minnesota didn't want Trae Young. This is how you become a Washington Wizard. That's how you become a Washington Wizard real fast. All right, thank you. Thank you. That's how you become a wizard real quick, bro. So what do y'all think he fit better at, Atlanta or Brooklyn? I was getting my hair cut when all this was going down. I was getting my hair cut. Next thing you know, that's all I hear about is, yo, what you think about this? And the dude was like, nah, this is legit. He's on the block for real. Like, Memphis and them, like, he won out and he was just playing nice. You know, just him and the coaches playing nice so they can get him up out of here. He's moving. He's like, the organization don't really want him no more, and he don't want to be here no more. So, it is what it is. Now it's all about who got the best deal to get Ja. Ja is officially on that block. You know, I always thought, like, man, maybe if, you know, they had worked out some differences in what they wanted to accomplish, they could have really did something in Memphis. But it's like, Memphis wasn't designed to have any success, you know, rule them or anything like that. They were not poised to be a successful team. They're going to send them to the Hornets. I mean, if they send them to the Hornets, they really don't like them. I think they want to send them to the East because they don't want to play Ja Morant and have him keep coming back but once. I think they're sending him to the East Coast and they want him to stay there. They're not going to trade him to any team on the West. So they're not going to trade him to Houston, period. I don't see that happening. I see them trading him out of there. Because think about it. If you got him there, what are you going to do with everybody else? They was done once they traded Dillon Brooks. Defensively, yeah, he was a very core piece. This is why losing certain players change your whole outlook. They lost a lot of key players that was defensive minded on the team, and it hurt them. It hurt them real bad. So everywhere he went, Dillon Brooks went from there. He went to the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets is one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. They trade him for Kevin Durant. Now they got KD on there. Dillon Brooks is gone. He's on Phoenix. And already he's made an impact on Phoenix as they're one of the best defensive teams. So wherever he goes, the defensive level goes up. That's not an accident. And the way he can get under LeBron's skin and shut LeBron down every time they play is a testament to his great defense and his psychological game. If you're a weak-minded individual, you're not going to be able to sustain that. Not at all. Orlando, they don't need Ja Morant in Orlando. They already got their unit. Yeah, he done great thing for Memphis, and for them to get disrespected as much as they have, and they were one of the best teams in the league. They were rolling. Ja was the league's one of the most popular players in the league. His shoe sales still outsell Steph Curry's. And now you're starting to see how all of these things are coming full circle. Yep. Oh, a lot of games we were watching, sir. A lot of games. Yeah, it was pretty rough at the time. But when you want to start talking the best of the best and quality and who's doing what, this person isn't doing this person is doing that, then you have to move in different rotations. You gotta move to a different stroke of the float. In Atlanta, I'm trying to think if they were to push this thing to an Atlanta situation, right? If you pushed it to Atlanta, where would everyone be then? I'm serious. If you damn, that's what I wanted to do. Get all this change out my pocket. Because I do not like change falling in my couch. It's one thing I hate. No, because if you look at it, you start to see Ja Morant and what was going on with the coach. That wasn't sustainable. He wanted to make changes. And they fired Ja's coach. So they're going to get rid of everybody. And move from there. Well, it's the flop era. They would say Jalen Brunson is better than Ja Morant. That's foolish. Now, this is the first time LeBron James isn't getting any votes for MVP. How is that? Cade Cunningham's on the best team in the NBA, the Detroit Pistons, and nothing's happening with Jalen Brunson. I mean, seriously. See? Look. Too good. Cade Cunningham. The Pistons just keep winning. Here's why. So, no, they don't need that. Oh, a referee got injured in the Orlando 76ers game. And it's like he tore his ACL. Big Bill Kennedy. He couldn't even move. It was a non-contact injury. Now you got referees tearing their ACL. He was emotional too. His career may be over. See? Look. He's done. His season's over. Now, Richardson's injured. He injured his leg. And just like that, Bill Kennedy's season is over. Oh, there's my glass. I didn't even see. No, it's just due to his injuries. He's not taking those risks anymore. You know, putting all that in perspective, Ja Morant didn't care. Ja Morant and that coach did not get along at all. Mm-mm. They didn't like each other. Mm-hmm. No, they didn't want to see that from Ja Morant. The coach wouldn't challenge something. Look, against the Lakers. Look at it. Ja goes up. That was a foul. He wanted them to challenge it. Ja's like, challenge it. Was like, oh. The guy's like, F me? Cool. He was like, F me? Cool. Not gonna happen. No, it's a lot of them. Man, they going crazy. Well, that wasn't where he wanted to go. Trey wanted to go to the Brooklyn Nets or the Minnesota, the Timberwolves. And he thought he was going there. I can't speak for Minnesota, but the Brooklyn Nets didn't want Trae Young. So they took CJ McCollum, who's probably in the last year of his deal. And he's really just giving financial advice to the players. At this point, he's pretty much retirement mode. That happens when you're president of the players union. Now this guy says
started using European coaching methods, and Ja Morant has immediately.
Ja Morant and the coach are fighting over the coaching methods as they're moving towards a European style of coaching. And Ja doesn't come from that system.
Using European coaching, and Ja Morant has immediately lost joy to play basketball. Who is wrong in this situation? The Grizzlies fans and the basketball community has split in two, so stay with me until the end of this video as I try to dissect this whole mess in detail.
You feel like you got the same joy right now, but we used the same thing? No.
After firing Taylor Jenkins with 4 games left in the regular season last year, it took 4 games this season for another fire to start in Memphis. Franchise's star Ja Morant publicly called out the head coach after a loss to the Lakers, criticizing his substitution patterns.
What could have been done different, get a different outcome other than actually coaching staff?
According to them, probably don't play me, honestly. That's what basically the message was. So, it's cool.
In my opinion, going about it in public is unprofessional, especially after the abysmal performance Ja Morant showed on the court that night. One can say he basically sabotaged the game against LA by not caring about it because he doesn't like Islo's new system. Not liking what the coach is trying to implement can happen, but not trying because of that?
Well, that's how it went. Right. He doesn't like the European style. They want Ja to play more off the ball, be decoys, instead of having his, his cake and eating it too.
Memphis hedge against Luka Doncic here, so Ja is the low man defensively, but Laravia cuts across as soon as Morant turns his head. Yet the guard does not recognize this for about 3 seconds, and of course, the Grizzlies wing nails the three. Islo's teams here in Europe have been known for playing ultra fast. 100% sprints all over the place was the new normal, and it was impossible to stop. And before this season, Islo even said that today's game should look slow in the 2030s. Yet we are only 5 games in, and Ja Morant wants to play on his own terms and pace, walking here on this double pick, not creating anything and almost losing the ball on this careless pass. According to Cleaning the Glass, Memphis are almost 7 points per 100 possessions better with Ja Morant on the bench. But is it really shocking after seeing how slow he moves on the court? Just look at how other lineups push the tempo when Ja goes to rest. Way harder sprints, forcing the opponent's transition defense to work, and the creation of good quality looks. Even if this was a miss, I'm pretty sure Thomas Isolo liked this spot-up look. Furthermore, to express his unhappiness with the coach, Morant was mostly jogging and sitting in the corners through those 5-7 minute stretches on the court. Those early substitutions are the hottest topic in the NBA right now, but we'll talk about those only a bit later. Here, Aldama gets the rebound, starts to break, Morant jogs to the corner, and when Santi turns to him for a handoff or a short pass here, Ja is somewhere in his own world. He's not looking to the ball, to his teammates, so the Spaniard has to turn the other way. But if you are the Grizzlies, you want your star to be aggressive. You might think I'm nitpicking on Ja here, but this ignorance is visible since the L game. Here on this inbound, Caldwell Pope wants to set a pick for Ja to go up and play the pick and roll. Yet he ignores it, walks to the corner, points for the others to do something. Now, if you're Memphis, do you want Morant playing the two-man game or a 3-and-D player trying to pull the rabbit out of the hat? This lack of initiative or effort, call it whatever you want.
And this is where you're headed. So Ja is getting moved. Now, never. It was only two major teams that are fighting over Ja. As I told you. That's Atlanta and the Brooklyn Nets. Memphis is not trading them in the West. They don't want to see Ja Morant but once a year. Now, if Ja go to Brooklyn, that's going to put a lot of pressure on them Knicks. who definitely written themselves up. Yeah, they written themselves to be right there next to the NBA Finals, and they're a great team. Brooklyn got the picks, they got the players, they got the money. If we got Ja Morant on our team and we got J90, we don't need nothing else. You heard me? You heard? Well, you heard now. No. I think, Atlanta, who we going to be with in Atlanta? Who you going to put them with in Atlanta? You know, besides the gun law, he can bust his guns in Atlanta all he wants. Brooklyn, he better not bring a gun out in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. Ja's not going to the Clippers.
Was even more visible in the
Yeah, they're using this European system.
Before Ja Morant was hit with his calf strain, the Grizzlies played the Rockets at home in a loss, and after the game, the fan yelled out something to Ja Morant, and Jock Landale was quick to his defense.
Damn. They told him to grow up and be a leader. Oh, LaMelo Ball going to the Grizzlies for Ja Morant.
Memphis Grizzlies are considering offers to potentially move Ja Morant ahead of the NBA trade deadline. This is a situation that we've been monitoring on this channel for what?
They was like, Ja could go to the Raptors, the Bucks, the Timberwolves, the Kings. And I'm like, the only two teams I heard about were the Brooklyn Nets and the Atlanta Hawks. All these other, I mean, the Sacramento Kings, they got about 50 guards.
What is going on with Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies? They were supposed to be next. Ja was box office, they were young, they were cocky, they were fun, they weren't rebuilding, they were fine in the West. Now Ja Morant has been suspended for conduct detrimental to the team, and he says that he doesn't have the same control. So how did we get here? It's complicated. Let me explain. Everything started to go wrong with when Shannon Sharp fought the team in LA. I don't know why, but something shifted. Injuries piled up, the Ja suspensions happened, Dylan Brooks fell from grace. Okay, now for the real action. Last season, Taylor Jenkins got fired, and a lot of people were confused as to why. Many people immediately blamed Ja Morant. And yeah, it's true that Ja wasn't happy with the Grizzlies' new offense that completely abandoned pick and roll. But that system actually wasn't on Taylor Jenkins. The GM had brought in new staffers to help implement it, and when it didn't work, Jenkins was let go, as were the other staffers. That being said, it did feel like the run was over. Many of us thought, okay, maybe it's time for a veteran head coach. Instead, the Grizzlies quickly hired first-time NBA head coach Thomas Isla. He had been Jenkins' lead assistant and had great success in Europe, but now his system isn't clicking with Ja, and it's even worse than last season. Here's what it looks like. The coach is trying to maximize the players' energy by playing them in 3 to 4 minute stints, basically constantly rotating the players. He wants to prioritize frequent substitutions, so Ja and Jaren only end up being on the floor together like 15 minutes a night, and Ja is averaging a career-low 28.5 minutes, which is with a pretty injured roster. And it seems like Ja is kind of rebelling against this system. He probably wants longer runs so he can actually get into rhythm. Right now, he just clearly isn't bought in. You can see it on the court. He looks frustrated, he's not smiling, he just has no energy. After a game where his body language and lack of effort was actually called out by national media members, the coach called out his leadership in front of the whole team, which led to Ja saying this. He was suspended a game. He did not seem happy after coming back. Now, the Grizzlies aren't only losing because of this, they are dealing with injuries. But whatever the main reason, after 3 straight...
No, that's it. It's that system. He won't out. Get me out of here. I want to play basketball. It ain't that he want to run the show. He just want to play. If you're gonna keep rotating guys in and out the lineup every possession or every dead ball, how they gonna build chemistry with that? They gonna move Jackson too.
The Mavericks.
They gonna move Ja and Jaren Jackson. Just wait. It's a coming. Trade for Brunson. Now that's funny. That's funny. But I'm gonna go finish my food. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Deuces.